Welcome to Lesson 2, Part 2.5. This is where we're going to formalize all the ideas that we talked in Part 2 of Lesson 2. So start off with slope. Slope is the ratio of the vertical rise over the horizontal run between 2 points on a line. Slope is equal to, normally we put the letter M means slope, and it's equal to the rise over the run. That's just a normal way to see it. Normally you don't see this whole thing up here. You normally just see it as rise over run. So how can we find the slope? Well, to find the slope between 2 points, let's say we have the point x1, y1 and the point x2, y2. These are just 2 points on a graph. We have the following formula. We say that m equals the rise over run, which equals y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So let's find the slope between these 2 points. To do that, the first thing you want to do is you just want to denote which point is your x1, y1 and is your x2, y2. That way you don't get them confused. So we're going to use this formula, and we're just going to substitute in. So my y2 is a 7, my y1 is a 3, my x2 is a 3, and my x1 is a 2. Simplify. 7 minus 3 is 4. 3 minus 2 is 1. And whenever we talk about slope, we want to keep slope as a fraction. Even if it is 4 over 1, let's just keep it 4 over 1, because that tells us that we're going to rise 4 and we're going to run 1. Okay, here are 3 examples. I want you to do these examples in your group. We're going to find the slope of these 3 sets of points. So go ahead and do that now. Okay. Again, I'm going to label. So it's going to be 0 minus 1 over 3 minus 2. And it looks like we get negative 1 over 1. So it looks like we're going to rise 1 down, and we're going to run 1 to the right. Two, looks like it's going to be a label first, x1, y1, x2, y2. It's going to be 2 minus negative 1, and minus a negative 1, that changes to a plus 1. And then we have 2 minus a negative 3, which changes that to a plus 3. So we get 3 over 5. So we're going to go 3 up, 5 right. Finally, we're going to do this. It looks like we're going to go 8 to the left, 8 down, 5 to the right. Okay, positive and negative slope. Positive slope rises from left to right on the graph, and negative slope descends or goes down left to right on a graph. 0 and undefined slope. If it's y equals a number, so all y equals, all horizontal lines have a 0 slope. So if you see a horizontal line, you know its slope equals 0. All x equals, or all vertical lines, have an undefined slope. So x equals vertical lines, the slope is undefined. So parallel line. 2 lines are parallel if they have the same slope. which is something I hope you noticed from the first video. And parallel lines will never touch each other. So if you see two lines and they have the exact same slope, they are called parallel. Okay, next talk about perpendicular lines. Two lines are perpendicular if they form a right angle, like we talked about in the first video. And if you have a horizontal and a vertical line, they are perpendicular. So all horizontal lines are perpendicular to all vertical lines. And lastly, perpendicular lines that aren't horizontal or vertical are perpendicular if they have slopes that are opposite reciprocals. So you have to recall again what an opposite reciprocal is. And I have two examples. The first one, our first slope is 2, our second one is -1/2. So opposite meaning if the first is positive, the second is negative. Reciprocal meaning we take whatever fraction it is and flip it. So the opposite reciprocal of 2 is -1/2. Then our second example here, we have -3/2, and the opposite reciprocal of that is +2/3.